U.S. Government and UFOs. Welcome to UFOs Real? In this episode, I will shed the light on the eternal question, are UFOs real? This question has been tantalizing mankind for over 70 years, not counting before 1947. My focus here will be a bit different from other colleagues who published videos or documentaries highlighting the incredible and unexplained sightings. I will be pondering the question in light of the latest U.S. government report on the phenomenon. In essence, I will be sharing with you a brief historical rundown of similar studies or projects commissioned by the U.S. government in past years. I will show you a pattern in the way the government have been dealing with this enigma. There seems to be a pattern here. Let's embark on our journey through the history of UFO, or as they are called now, UAP studies. The long-awaited truth. After 70-plus years of denial, respected media shocked the world. New York Times broke the news that the U.S. government is still investigating the mysterious phenomenon. Office of the Director of National Intelligence released their preliminary assessment, Unidentified Aerial Phenomena, on June 25, 2021. This came after congressional hearings, mounted pressure and hype in the aftermath of after exposing secret AATIP, Advanced Aerial Threat Identification Program, in 2017. History. AATIP, Advanced Aerial Threat Identification Program, came out to the light through news stories appeared in three major mainstream media publications, The Washington Post, Politico and The New York Times, on December 16, 2017. An interesting fact is that this program to study and investigate unidentified aerial phenomena, UAPs, started in 2007, with funding of $22 million over the 5 years until the available appropriations were ended in 2012. Look at the timeline below showing the succession of events leading to the 2021 report. Examining the irony. Through the successive studies, projects, that were created to examine the UFO phenomenon, one common theme stands out. They all have shared the same fate, abrupt ending. The last one was significant exposure and fame has been Project Blue Book, which was put to sleep in 1969. Upon conclusion of Project Blue Book, American public were convinced that the government does not investigate UFOs anymore. This notion lasted from 1969 till we all discovered that the government has not stopped investigating the phenomenon until this day. Why would the government hide their interest in UFOs? What are they hiding? What is their purpose or agenda behind hiding the facts? Look at the charts on the left and right sides. We see the AATIP formed in 2007 and terminated in 2012, abruptly. Then few years later and in 2020 we discover the UAP coming to the light. One part of the pattern emerges here, semi-continuity in the government investigation of this phenomenon. How? How is the government continuing their study of the UAPs after dissolving the program that was doing the investigation? Apparently, they switched programs. Let's keep going and take you back in time even further. Pattern of interest or denial? Since 1947 and with the coining of the very term UFO by Kenneth Arnold and soon later the infamous Roswell crash, information about the phenomenon came out mostly contradictory and sporadic. U.S. government attitude and interest towards the UFO sightings and encounters has been genuine. Historically, many studies or projects were launched to capture the underlying enigma. However, strangely enough, all these projects were abruptly ended and set aside. Common theme was there is no threat to the U.S. national security. If there is no threat, as they say, why would they continue or perhaps resurrect the investigations covertly? Chart on the left shows the succession of UFO, UAP, investigations starting from 1948 till 1969. Numerous programs that were initiated to look into this mystery. Practically, all of them came into existence for a short period of time and then got dropped out. All past studies ironically concluded that UFOs are nothing to worry about. Now, fast forward to third millennium and specifically to 2020 and 2021. What do you see? History repeating itself. Let's shift gears now and look into the findings of the 2021 Preliminary Assessment Report. Caption seen here appeared on the NBC website on the same the report came out. Caption stated that the government could not explain 143 out of 144 reports due to insufficient data. This sounds familiar from all previous studies we have seen before. Right? For example, Project Blue Book used the insufficient data to throw away any citing of interest in which they could not explain, to the public, in mundane terms. Late Dr. J. Allen Hynek hinted on that in his book after closure of the investigations and termination of Project Blue Book. Let's go back to the 2021 Preliminary Assessment Report caption and findings. One might think that this caption is another trick of the media to entice the public to dip into their channel or story. This could be true, but as they say, there is no smoke without a flame, right? Despite the latest report's indecisiveness to the nature of the objects in question, it however presented a different tone of certain level of seriousness and objectivity. It called out the limitation on data available to come up with conclusive scientific study. It also called out the possibility of erroneous measurements or instrument spoofing. These are valid factors that might impact of the report's accuracy and undermine validity of thereof conclusions. Report came out to subdue hype? One point of view on this report and many others previously published is that the US government is actually onto something, and they are not telling us. They want to keep whatever this thing is in deep secrecy. Hence, they pretended that they are checking into the phenomenon, and after a while they came out and told us, here is our findings. Is this possible? In my opinion, I do not think so. Considering historical prior studies and investigations, there has always been several cases that remain unexplained. For instance, Project Blue Book Report number 14 states that roughly 30% of studied cases are labeled unknown. Keep in mind that the objective of Project Blue Book has been always a public-facing initiative to explain away reported sightings. And despite that, there were statistically significant number of cases unexplained. 30% is quite significant. Furthermore, the 3 captured videos for the strange objects by Navy Top Gun pilots are real, and they have been corroborated visually and on radar. These objects exhibited unmatched technology and far more superior flight capabilities, which makes any government in the world worried, including the US government. For this reason, among many other, which I will elaborate in future videos, I do believe that there is a genuine core for the UFO phenomenon and that it is as real as it gets. Then, what are these objects? Many theories have been put forward to try to explain and comprehend what the mysterious objects are. Some people suggested that these could be superior secret earthly technology being tested by the US, Russia, China, or perhaps some other country. Other views suggested that the objects could be indeed off this world and that they could be alien in origin from outside our solar system or a galaxy operated by intelligent beings. Extra-dimensional origins is yet another suggestion which agree to a certain extent with off-world view but differ in where do they come from. Some even say that these objects are not alien to our planet, but rather they are humans from the future who have perfected time travel and are visiting us to warn us and perhaps correct the time continuum to avert disasters or even extinction. I might add another possibility of these objects are operated by Jinn, that invisible race of beings created from fire,